Hello everyone, this is James, and welcome to today's video. I'm very excited to be making this video. Right now, I'm going to be playing something a little bit different. This is actually a browser game, but, hear me out, a browser game made by the same guy that made Cookie Clicker. It's called NeverEnding Legacy, and I guess it's like the alpha version, kind of sequelish version of the previous game, which is called Legacy, which is another browser game you can go and play if you want to. But NeverEnding Legacy has a lot more content. It's a lot cleaner, a lot more bugs when fleshed out. I would assume, and I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. I actually got into Legacy a couple months ago. I managed to get to the end stages not too quickly afterwards. But even though it didn't take me a long time to kind of finish everything up, it was still super fun. And I am so excited that this came out not too long after I'd started getting into the game, because I have a feeling this is going to be great. So I'm just going to get into it. I may be able to explain some things sort of a bit, but this is pretty much a new version of the game completely, so things are going to be... I'm not going to be used to some of the things that this game has. So I'm just going to stick with everything kind of basic and keep my tribe name as it is and go to a pleasant world just so I have something to... Oh wow, this is real different. So basically I want to say the premise of this game is exploration and survival. So I'll see if I can explain some of this stuff. So on this side you have your population. Everything's pretty self-explanatory if you go to play the game, but you have your population, which is obviously the amount of people you have, your workers, which in my case can right now only be adults unless I activate child labor. You have your happiness and your health, which dictates how well your workers and your people feel and work. The amount of land that you have access to, the more land you have, the more people you can have total, I believe. And then you have things like insight, which involves research. It's sort of like a idle civilization-y type game is another way to explain it. So you have your insight, which helps you with research, which I can get into a little later. Influence is different. That was not in the first version of Legacy, I believe. Was required to enact most policies or remove traits. Okay, I don't know anything about that because I don't think traits were implemented in the first iteration of the game. So we'll figure that out together, I guess. So population, and now there are babies, children, adults, elders, and then you're just your workers. I think technically babies and children were in the first game, but it wasn't really shown like this. And then one of the most important things, the food that I have access to. I like how in this version of the game it's a lot the difference between clean food and water, which is a new thing, and dirty food and water is made very present. So on the left here you have all your clean food and water, on the right you have all your gross, shitty, spoiled stuff. And then I guess -4 from decay. I'm not sure exactly what that means, what those numbers mean. So yeah, you see, so the left is basically a sum of all of the the clean food I have and all the people I have, and on the right it's in more detail. So I have clean herbs and fruit, and still on the left it's the gross seafood and bugs that people eat. So I guess it's still kind of separated, but this gives you more detail, whereas this is just general. And then I also have my crafting and stuff, which will expand when I finally get more people. So sticks and rocks, sticks and stones is all I have for now. So it's also this nifty getting started guide on the bottom right here when you start up the game. That'll give you some tips. I looked at this for the most part. And okay, I have not read this yet though, so I'm gonna read this and then I'll be right back. Okay, so it's basically just telling you the essential parts of the game, queuing up units and life and death and all that stuff. So what I'm gonna do is, actually I have more workers now. I have another adult, so I'm gonna keep the amount of gatherers I have, because I can right click or shift right click to take away some of the units that I have allocated to certain places. And I could have put them towards dreamers, but because I took too long explaining, I'm just gonna let this do its thing. And now I have another baby was born, so I have another adult finally, and thus I can keep my 5 gatherers and put 1 point to a dreamer. So I'll generate some insight eventually. And also in this game, if you notice on the top, it tells me like the date and what year I'm in and how long I've been playing. This is how many in-game days you can run at fast speed. Gain a fast tick every second you're paused or offline. Gain fast ticks every time you research a technology. Game time saved up, which will execute 1 second at fast speed. Okay, interesting. So I guess, yeah, this is the date. And there's a new feature, you can actually pause the game now, so if you get overwhelmed, you can pause it, I guess. And you can speed it up, which I'm not sure if I want to do or not, just in case I end up screwing something up. Another new thing is that your territory that you start in, you can actually click on this tab and see the resources that you have in the territory. So like if I were to start fishing or hunting, there would be no point because I don't have any animals in this tiny territory that I have access to right now. And I can go over here and see that I have actually oh well, maybe there are animals. Well, I can see how much of this territory I've actually explored. So that, okay. So maybe these are the resources. Yeah, that makes sense. So some water, some, okay. Okay, so total natural resources, and this is like general, I guess. And this just tells me the terrain type. It's so cool. Oh my gosh, this is such an improvement from the original game. It's really cool. Notice I had another adult, so I'm making a dreamer. Notice that insight doesn't seem to be produced as quickly, which is, yeah. But I guess that makes sense considering you can speed it up. So I might speed stuff up just so I can gather resources a bit faster and kind of push this along. With my next adult, I'll make a wanderer. I'll make a wanderer so that I can explore my territory more, because I only explored 10% of it. I just read the tooltip, and they won't explore other territories around it. They'll just explore this one. I'm not sure how to explore more territories. Oh, I generated 2 insight. But yeah, maybe I'll do that with my next adult. So probably the core part, well, I'd say one of the core parts of the game, researching stuff, is how you advance your civilization. So, and it tells you what it unlocks, unlike the first game where you just had little things to click on and you had to guess. So I have speech, and this, and tribalism. Wait. What? So which one? What do I... Oh, I see. Okay, so that... Okay, I'm stupid. I didn't even bother to read that. So that's the ones I know so far. And if I click this, it'll give me a new one. Maybe. Oh, cool. Okay, so it'll give me 3 to either... I'm assuming these are either to choose from, or 3 that I now will have access to over time if I unlock them. And I can also re-roll if I don't like... if I don't like the choices I've been given. That's really cool. So for now, I'm going to speed this up a bit. Oh god, I'm afraid. Oh wait, did that... 30 times faster, 1 month every second, uses up fast ticks. Oh, okay. Okay, so that used up my fast ticks. I get it. In-game days you can run. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. I guess I didn't read that all the way through either. So, for every second I'm paused, I get a fast tick. That makes sense. So that I can just make up all the... Oh, wow. So I can make up all the time that I would have lost by having been paused or inactive. That's cool. Although, I'll probably keep the game active the entire time once I get into it. That's also unlike the first game. If you close the browser window, I think if you just closed it, then you'd lose your progress. But I just closed this one, and it brought it back. So I'm happy about that too. So as you can see, my population is kind of average. they're not feeling well, because I think that most of the food, yeah, most of the food and water I have at this point is gross, and I'm not 100% sure what to do about that. Probably requires me to make a wanderer and go explore somewhere to find better resources, because right now everything's kind of shitty. Okay, so now I have my first worker and I can make a wanderer. So a wanderer's gonna eat a lot of my food, I guess, but that's fine. Where's occupied tiles for land? Can discover new tiles, may sometimes get lost. Okay. Well, hopefully in time. I don't know if there's gonna be like a stat somewhere. I'll have to go back to the territory tab to find out how much land it's been explored. Oh, okay. So I got another land right here. Each tile territory you own grants you some land, 100 per fully explored tile by default, upon which you can construct buildings. If for some reason you find yourself with less land than you realize you're using, so just like crumble away. How much land? Alright, so how much land you have in total? Okay. So right now I have no land occupied, but I'm slowly getting more. Does that contribute to that? Okay. So I'm hoping that also shows me, as the more he explores, hopefully it'll show me the more potential resources. I think. I don't know for a fact, but I'm hoping that's what happened. So if you have some compatibility, so you control as the natural resources available for you. Okay. You get more resources from fully explored tiles and from tiles you've just encountered. Click on explored tile on them. Okay, so once I fully explore, I'll get more resources, I guess. That's cool. So let's look at this policies tab, because I haven't done anything with this yet. So work, let's see, child workforce. Okay, here it is, child labor, boys and girls. Now count as workers. Working children are more prone to accidents and receive lower education. Elders now count as worker. Elders are more prone to accidents and early death. Okay, so if I guess if I'm desperate or a tyrant, if I want to be a tyrant, this is probably what I would do. Oh, what just happened? Your people have adopted the trait rules of food. How did that happen? Unlocks policies that manage which food types can be eaten. Scavenging. Workers gather resources with 1/10 of the efficiency of a gatherer. Oh. Okay, so this just happens randomly? Let's see. Traits define your civilization as a unique entity, giving small boosts to various aspects of art, science, and lifestyles. Yeah, your civilization gains random traits over time, consuming resources in the process. Events such as celebrations and disasters are also recorded here as memories that fade away over time. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my god. Oh, this is so neat. So basically back to policies. So population, set rules on how many children your people are allowed to have. So for normal, no specific rules regarding children. Limited, to have one child, and forbidden. Why would I want to do that? If I'm overpopulation, probably, actually. Although I don't know, I don't see how that could be a. Oh man, I don't see how overpopulation could be too much of a problem. But that's whatever. Dreamer. Okay, so now I can have policies about food. So this basically already sets them to. Okay, then I can set to what degree they eat certain food. Oh shit, toggling cost influence. So this basically don't eat any of these insects or any of this shit. And this is to the degree of how much of the good resources we have that they can eat. Okay. I also get 1 influence point at the start of every year. It's limited by your authority. The closer the limit, the slower it is to produce more. okay. I don't know what a power structure is. So yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that yet unless I get some pretty game-changing policies. Then I'll worry about it. I don't know what those could be though. Again, because this is all pretty much entirely brand new to me. Like, some of the concepts in this game are like how they were previously, but other ones are just completely different. Like, some of these tabs were in the game, in like the last iteration of the game, but they didn't do anything or have any icons or whatever. It was just like the message that said that this is what this did, but there was nothing there. So most of the stuff I've never actually gotten to play with before. So this is pretty much entirely brand new to me. It was pretty cool. I mean, I guess this just gives a general happiness average, health average, same. Oh, that person isn't sick anymore. I thought they died. That's cool. Another thing that the previous iteration of the game did, that this one doesn't, which I'm a little surprised about, is that food and like stuff were generated based on like how many steps you took, and I think there was like a counter for steps or something. And like, so every, like, you gather food every 10 steps based on what person you are using. This doesn't do that. It just says, well, at least this one says, yeah, generates entry every now and then, whereas before it would give you like an actual number. So I don't know if that number was like arbitrary and weird and it had to be removed, or if that's just not a thing in this one, or if it is like hard to code or whatever, but. That's fine. I just kind of like to know how quickly I'm generating insight, because it feels very, very slow compared to the first game. You know, I have 4 dreamers, so I figured it'd be a lot faster. But I guess if this game is is trying to be more realistic, then creating ideas doesn't really come to people that quickly. So it's whatever. I don't care too much. So. Okay, well, I think that's all I wanted to do with this for now. I know this is a little different, a browser game, but I think this is actually a lot of fun, and I've always kind of liked games like this, although I've never really played Civilization that much. This is kind of, I don't know if I would necessarily want to say simpler yet, probably, but basically a more, for me at least, more accessible version of that, and made by the same guy that made Cookie Clicker, so of course I'm going to try it at least, and it ends up being a lot of fun, which I'm very happy about. I may make another video at some point just to come back to my little civilization, or my little whatever, my tribe, whatever you want to call it, and just check in every now and then. But this is going to be it for now because things are going a little slow. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.